This is a First Defense weather alert.
Good afternoon. It is 4:12 on Thursday afternoon, and we now have a tornado warning that is in effect for the northern section of Chautauqua County. And it is this red flashing polygon you see right here. And notice how this storm has kind of a hook-shaped echo to it. And again, this storm has been looking suspicious over the past few minutes. There was originally a severe thunderstorm warning, which is still in place, which is the orange polygon. But the Weather Service has opted to issue a tornado warning because this storm has been showing signs of rotation over the past couple of minutes. And all along throughout the afternoon, we said that the chance for a overall tornado is low. But again, right in through here, so understand this is not all of Chautauqua County. You might be hearing, all of the counties under a tornado warning. No, it's only this northern section of Chautauqua County going up into Cattaraugus and then going up into Erie County. This is basically the same area where we had the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, note the lightning counter here, over 60 strikes, and that's over the past 10 minutes. This is what the radar system does here. So again, if we can possibly take the lightning off, it might be a little easier to see here, but if we can't, that's okay. But again, it is this storm right here. You can see there's a little kidney bean shape right here. That is going to be the possibility of what the Weather Service is looking at right now. And what I'm doing right now is I'm getting back into our chat room with the National Weather Service. Again, for those of you who are new here, we are on a series of instant message conferences between three National Weather Service offices, between the Weather Service offices in Buffalo State College and Cleveland. And we are going to get the latest from them and see what's going on with the storm here. So again, they have opted. It is a radar indicated rotation, which is what this is. So this does not mean somebody has actually seen this. This is radar indicated rotation. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning down here. Let's go down and show that very quickly. This was just posted. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Chautauqua County. And it is going to be for this cluster of storms that's coming out of northwestern Pennsylvania. That's until 5:15 basically today. It is for this cluster of storms that's coming out of Erie County, Pennsylvania, and then coming up into Chautauqua County. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning. This almost clips the city of Jamestown. The polygon border kind of runs through the middle of downtown. So if you're north of downtown, you're likely going to be in this severe thunderstorm warning. But our main focus is going to be this tornado warning that is right here, that is in effect for the northern section of Chautauqua County. So if you are in Silver Creek, if you are in Dunkirk, if you're anywhere up in here, woo, there we go. If you're anywhere from, well, I'd say past Dunkirk, Forestville, Silver Creek, anywhere on I-90 going up into North Collins near the Lake Erie shoreline, you need to be in a safe place. And I mean right now, a small room, lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. That is now a tornado warning. You can see the inflow notch right here, and this is going to be the area of concern right there. And then again, the radar has been showing areas of rotation within this storm over the past few minutes. And so that is why the Weather Service has opted to issue a tornado warning for this. So again, if you're in this storm, you know the deal. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out and find a more substantial shelter. And if you're in a car, anywhere traveling from the thruway, I-90, going up into Buffalo. So if you're on the thruway right now, we advise that you pull off, or if you're on Route 60 going north into, basically going north into Erie County, we highly advise that you pull off at some, a restaurant, a gas station, anything that's open, and go inside of there and wait out the storm. Obviously, put your mask on before you go inside, but obviously just wait out this storm, because again, you do not want to be in a car. That is one of the worst places to be during a tornado warning. Now again, we don't know. One of the things we don't know is if there is a tornado down. One of the products that we have the ability to look at is something called correlation coefficient, and which basically allows us to show you the possible debris. And I'm going to take a look at it here on my system here just to see if we've got anything. Now understand, if there is something here, more than likely it's going to be a small tornado. but it doesn't matter. A small tornado is a threat to life and property. That's why these warnings are put out. So a small tornado, whether it's an EF0 or an EF2, we don't know. We don't play that game here. So what we have right now is, well, let me see here. Let me go into here. And we're kind of doing this all on the fly. This was a little bit of a unexpected kind of thing. I don't want to say it was unexpected, but it was a little bit of a interesting thing here. We were all watching this carefully, and when they pulled the trigger on the tornado warning, that was like a shock because we weren't exactly ready for it at that particular moment. But again, this is the warning right here. It's this red polygon that is a tornado warning that is in effect for the northern section of Chautauqua County, including the far northeastern or northwestern part of Cattaraugus County. And that is the storm that you're looking at right there that could very well have a potential tornado within it. And I am taking a look at... So again, what we were looking at here is our radar, and again, what you're looking at is First Defense Doppler right here. And again, that red polygon is the tornado warning that is currently in effect for portions, the northern portion of Chautauqua County. So again, this is going to include basically areas east and north of Dunkirk going up into Hamburg. So again, if you're traveling up to Buffalo on I-90, 60, anywhere on the highways up there, you need to be in a safe place. If you're anywhere up there, that is a small room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. I'm looking at our correlation coefficient product, and again, I don't see anything there, but I can tell you the rotation that they're looking at is going to be around Silver Creek. And I know you can't see it at the moment, and all the engineers are scrambling right now to kind of get this on the air. But again, what I'm looking at right here is an area of, it looks broad, but there is some rotation going on between Silver Creek and Farnham, about along US 62. That's about where the area of concern is going to be. And right in there, there is going to be the possibility that maybe there is a tornado there. Weather Service is going to continue this warning until the expiration time on this is going to be until... I don't see it here in the chat. I wonder why. That's very interesting. And we apparently now have the ability to go to the MacBook Pro that I have coming off my system here. And again, this is the same high-res radar that we often use. It's just coming off my radar, so off my computer here. So again, this is the area of rotation that they're looking at. Again, it's very broad. It's not a very tight rotation signature, but again, you know, the Weather Service does believe that there's enough information here to put out the warning. So that's why the tornado warning is in effect. One of the products I wanted to show you is one of the dual pole products that we have. And it is called correlation coefficient. And again, there's nothing here. And basically what we're looking for are negative values of correlation coefficient. And we don't see that in here. So that doesn't mean there isn't a tornado there, but that just does not mean that the radar is picking up a tornado at this time. This is the storm that we're looking at right here. And again, it is going to be this. You can notice how the storm right here kind of has a little of an inflow notch and then kind of a kidney bean shape right back in here. This is the storm in question. And whenever you see that, that's always very ominous when you see that. So again, that is the area that is in concern. Going back down here, this is the line of severe storms that's coming out of Erie County, Pennsylvania. There's a severe thunderstorm warning for this cluster, which is moving northeast. And again, here it is on the in-house radar. This is the cluster of storms that's been near the Lake Erie shoreline, moving northeast. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning here for basically much of Chautauqua County, basically from the central and western portions. That's going to be the severe thunderstorm warning for that. There's our tornado warning. And again, this is what's called a storm attribute table. And what we're looking at here is, if we could pop that back up, that'd be great. What it's showing here is it's showing you that we're looking at velocity data here, and it's showing a good velocity couple at about 94 knots of overall maximum rotation. And so that is our tornado warning. It is for this storm right here, that flashing red polygon. That is the tornado warning. And again, you can notice that kidney bean shape right back in through there. And this warning is going to be in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. This storm is moving northeast like this. Here comes the new radar scan now, and it's coming up into, basically exiting out of Chautauqua. It's coming up into the far northwestern corner of Cattaraugus County, north of Gowanda. So if you are basically in Chautauqua County, you are basically free from this storm as of right now. The storm is moving away from you as it's starting to move to the northeast and moving up like this. So the storm is almost out of Chautauqua County. Give me just another couple of minutes and I can give you an all clear here. If you're north of Gowanda, going up near the county line, this is basically where Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, and Erie counties all come together. And this is where this rotation is currently sitting. So that is our possible tornado. Understand, it's a possible tornado. Nobody has seen this, and there's no indication that it's down, but when there's a warning out, you have to treat it like there is a tornado down. So if you're in this red polygon, I would say basically from the far northern tip of Chautauqua County going into the far northwestern portion of Cattaraugus County, north of Gowanda, and then going up into Erie County, including Hamburg and parts of the Buffalo South Towns, this is going to be the area that is going to be impacted. And again, if you're in this tornado warning, you need to be in a small room, a hall closet, a bathroom, lowest floor. If you've got an up and a down, don't go up, you go down. Near the center, put as many walls as between you and the outside as you can, and away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. If you're in a mobile home, a trailer, whatever, you need to get out of that and you need to get into a more substantial shelter. And if you're in a car driving along I-90 on the thruway, US Route 60 going up into Erie County, you need to pull off and find more substantial shelter. And again, if you go into a gas station, a restaurant, a store, make sure you put on your mask before you go in and just wait out the storm right there. So that is our tornado warning that is in effect for the northern portion, extreme northern portion of Chautauqua, extreme northwestern portion of Cattaraugus County, and then going up into Erie County. Let's go down and take a look at this cluster of storms once again. This is not a tornado warning. There's a severe thunderstorm warning out for this. This is a cluster of storms that's coming out of northwestern Pennsylvania, Erie and Crawford counties near the Lake Erie shoreline, moving northeast. You can see the storm motion here, northeast at 37. That's the radar estimated storm motion, about 37 miles an hour, 30 to 40 miles an hour is the storm motion today. And these are moving toward the northeast. So that flashing orange polygon is a severe thunderstorm warning for basically downtown Jamestown to the west. If you're in downtown Jamestown, you're in the severe thunderstorm warning. That does not mean you're under a tornado warning. It's just the severe thunderstorm warning. But, you know, a lot of people tend to blow off severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, especially on a day like today when these storms can be packing wind gusts 65, 70 miles an hour. And these storms could be containing some large hail as well, and they really can do some damage. So please pay attention to severe thunderstorm warnings because all these are put out to protect life and property. I mean, I can assure you the Weather Service does not put these warnings out to get us on the air because we like to hear ourselves talk. I mean, these are put out to protect life and property, and that's what we're doing here. So again, that is our severe thunderstorm warning for the northwestern corner of Chautauqua County, southwestern, going up into central Chautauqua County. Our tornado warning is up here in far northwestern Chautauqua and northwestern Cattaraugus counties going up into Erie County, New York, not Erie County, Pennsylvania, including the Buffalo metro area here. So again, let's go back to the high resolution radar that comes off Internet One, which is my MacBook Pro here. And again, this is the storm that has prompted the tornado warning. And again, you can see how it's kind of ominous. It's got that classic shape, but again, there's your inflow notch right there, and any chance of a tornado is going to be likely right in this region, right in through here. Let's take a look at velocity and see what we've got right here. So that is base. Let's go to the high res velocity, and the rotation, it's going to be about right in here. And again, that is not the most impressive rotation signature we've ever seen. But again, the area of concern is going to be right in here. And this is basically moving to the northeast. So if you live basically in that northwestern corner of Cattaraugus County, south of Gowanda, in fact, you can see here, if I move this down here, you can see that red line is the polygon boundary. This is the tornado warning boundary. This is Gowanda. So downtown Gowanda is here. The polygon boundary is here. So if you're in Gowanda, you're not in this. However, some people north of Gowanda may have a Gowanda mailing address. So if you have a Gowanda mailing address north of downtown Gowanda, you need to be in a safe place. That is a small room, lowest floor near the center, away from windows. Then going back up to the north, you need to be in a safe place from this signature right here that is moving to the northeast. Now again, this is not a confirmed tornado, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's one down or not. There is the potential that it could, and you need to respect that. So you need to be in a safe place right now. So let's go back to Lynx 2, which is First Defense Doppler, and we'll just do a wide shot here to kind of show you what's going on here. So again, basically beyond this severe thunderstorm warning here and this tornado warning right here, there's nothing else going on besides this right here. And again, all along through the afternoon, we've been keeping our eyes on the potential that these storms could potentially rotate here. And what I want to do is I want to check in with the comments here very quickly here. I got to pull that up here. If you guys could see how many things I have going on my computer. I've got like 35 different screens open here trying to monitor everything here. But Caitlin says she's in her bathtub. Great place to be. Fantastic. That's a great place to be. Somebody ha-ha'd at that. Don't. Because that is a great place to be. In your bathtub. If your bathroom is interior where there's no outside walls or windows, that's a great place to be, in your bathtub. Get the kids in there, snuggle up in the bathtub. Just snuggle up for 30 minutes and you'll be all right. And everybody is checking in here. Let's see here. David said, thanks for the update. Thank you for watching here. Maddie asks, is it going to affect the city of Jamestown? No, it is not. Let's show you, and again, this is the storm in question right here. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for this cluster of storms that's coming out of northwestern Pennsylvania. That could likely affect the far northern part of Jamestown, but again, this is moving more toward the northeast. So I would say this might be more of a central Chautauqua County deal. The actual tornado is way up here, so it is far north of Jamestown right now, moving to the northeast. So, and again, notice once again on the newest radar update, that kidney bean shape is still there, and it's actually gotten a little bit more interesting to look at on radar. Notice the kidney bean shape right here. And again, the area of wind and flow where the winds are coming back into the storm is likely going to be right about in there. Any area of rotation is going to be right there. So again, if you're in this flashing red polygon, you know where you are out there. That is a tornado warning until 4:45. Thank you very much. And you can see that kidney bean shape right there. I mean, that always gets us a little anxious when we see that, because that starts to indicate that there could be some type of rotation going on here. Basically, when you see that, that basically means the storm is wrapping up when you see that. And one of the things we get here, we don't get very photogenic tornadoes here very often, because one of the things we have are HP storms, it's basically high precipitation storms. So if we do have a tornado, it's likely going to be rain wrapped. So you're likely not going to be able to see it. And that is a clear-cut case that the storm is rain wrapping. It's wrapping back around itself when you see that. So sometimes what's called an inclusion process occurs, where the storm wraps all the way up and the wind and flow is cut off, and then the storm weakens. And sometimes if we have the right environmental conditions, they can kind of, I mean, you know, they weaken and not a whole lot happens. And then sometimes a new rotation develops again that could be even more violent than the original rotation. Not saying that's going to happen today. I don't think we have the overall, the overall atmospheric, overall atmospheric instability is not that great to allow that, but that does happen on occasion where the storms wrap all the way up, they weaken, and then they just redevelop again. But again, when you see that, that generally means it's starting to rain wrap. So again, that is our storm in question that is producing a tornado, possibly near north of Gowanda, and this is coming out near I-90, excuse me, and then going up Route 319 up and through here. Wanted to check in with the chat here very quickly to see what's going on here. And so nothing so far from Buffalo on terms of what they're going to do here. And but again, what you see right here is that cluster of storms that's basically near Mayville. And this is the cluster of storms that's coming out of Erie and Crawford County, Pennsylvania, that is moving more toward the northeast. And what I'm going to do is hop into the Cleveland chat here and see what's going on there. So again, if you are just joining us, we currently have a tornado warning. Okay, I see the new severe thunderstorm warning that they issued. It is for this right here. So this is a new severe thunderstorm warning for central and western Erie County in Pennsylvania. And it is for this lone little storm right here that is coming off Lake Erie. And that storm could be producing some gusty winds, maybe some hail there. I see a storm track skit there. So, and when you see that triangle, that usually indicates that the radar system is starting to indicate that there could be some hail within that. So that does not include the city of Erie, it does not look like. That is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Erie County, Pennsylvania, and Ashtabula, Ohio. So you can see it clips that far eastern part of Ashtabula County and then coming up into western portions of Erie County, Pennsylvania. But the reason we're here, we have a tornado warning that is in effect for basically the far northern extreme portion of Chautauqua County and then going up into Cattaraugus County. It is for this storm right here that we have highlighted here. And again, this storm is basically out of Chautauqua County right now. So if you are in Chautauqua County, all clear. I know that the polygon is still in effect for that small segment of northeastern Chautauqua County, but the storm is out of Chautauqua County now. So if you are in Chautauqua County, Silver Creek, anywhere, if you were in your safe place in Chautauqua County, you have the all clear from this particular storm. There could be more storms later. And again, notice this batch of storms coming right up on you. So would not be a bit surprised if this severe thunderstorm warning ends up getting extended further to the north for that cluster of storms as it continues to move northeast. But from the actual tornado, the storm is further to the east of you now. So if you're in Chautauqua County, we're going to give you an all clear from this storm. If you're in Cattaraugus County, no. You need to be in a safe place. If you're north of Gowanda, if you have a Gowanda mailing address north of downtown Gowanda, you need to be in a safe place. The actual storm in question is right here again. Notice how the storm is wrapping up here, and that could indicate the possibility that there could be a tornado that is moving through here. And again, this is radar detected. There's no, and again, you know, there hasn't been a confirmed tornado with this, but it doesn't matter. When the warning is issued, you need to respect it and you need to go to a safe place. So again, this is going to be the warning here. It looks like they kind of reconfigured how the tornado warning polygon is. It looks like they extended it a little bit further, just a tad bit into Erie County. It looks like, based on the new update to the polygon. Sometimes what the Weather Service will do is they will reconfigure the shape of the polygon to kind of incorporate storm motion. So they might have extended that a little bit farther to the northeast as this storm is moving here. There's your storm right there. There's your inflow notch. Potential for a tornado now, basically sitting north of Gowanda. So if you are north of Gowanda, if you have a Gowanda mailing address, if you live near the Gowanda-Erie County line, you need to be in a safe place. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. You need to have a readiness kit along with you. Some of the things you need to have are helmets for everybody. I know it sounds silly, especially if you're elderly. It sounds silly putting on a helmet, but it has been peer reviewed. Helmets will save your life, because many people who have died in tornadoes have died from injuries to the skull region. That has been peer-reviewed research in the weather community that shows helmets will save your life during a tornado. Have a whistle or an air horn in case you have to walk, in case if you're trapped and people can't find you. First responders have been trained to listen for that. Have hard sole shoes in case you have to walk over tornado debris. Have your ID with you, and we'll get through this. So again, there's your possible tornado north of Gowanda, moving out to the northeast. And this is going to be in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. Again, if you are in Chautauqua County, this storm is out of Chautauqua County. So it is basically now going up into Cat County. Weather Service indicates that they're starting to see broad rotation on the severe thunderstorm near Mayville. And it is going to be this segment of storms right down in through here where that severe thunderstorm warning is currently in effect. Robert Hamilton, who is one of the Mets at the National Weather Service in Buffalo, he's telling us that they see some broad rotation on that cell, and it's going to be about right in here. Again, notice how the storm right there is starting to look a little suspicious. Let me pull up the high-res radar here. And it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but if we can take Internet 1, which is the MacBook Pro, I'll show you the velocity signature. This is what they're looking at right here, this area of light green here. It's not intense. That is very broad, but again, the Weather Service believes that there could be some areas of weak rotation going on right in this area. And now there's no tornado warning for this. The rotation is very broad, but looking at this, the Weather Service has said that there is area of broad rotation showing up, and it's going to be about right in here. And again, that is a very broad rotation signature. And one of the things we tell you all the time is that a tornado is not broad rotation, it's very tight rotation that touches the ground. That's the definition of a tornado, a violently rotating column of air extending from the thunderstorm down to the ground, So there's no there's no tornado warning with this right now. But again, this storm could be producing damaging winds. So even if you're in Chautauqua County, if you're in this severe thunderstorm warning right here, basically from Sherman, Westfield, Cassadaga, Mayville, over Chautauqua Lake, which sits about right there. This is the I-86 bridge right there. And so Mayville sits about right here. Bemis Point is right here. So it is for this cluster of storms right here that's moving northeast. And again, you can see how that segment of the storm right there is looking a little suspicious. But again, there's no tornado warning for that right now, but that's something we're going to keep our eyes on as we go throughout the next couple of minutes. The Weather Service has said that there's a wall cloud reported northeast of Perrysburg with the northern storm, which is this one right here. So again, let's zoom into this. And so according to the Weather Service in Buffalo, they have a wall cloud reported northeast of Perrysburg with this storm. And that is going to be right about there, I believe. And the actual rotation, North Collins is right here. And Perrysburg is going to be just about down here, kind of in the warning. Now, again, the storm is not looking as organized as it once did, at least on the reflectivity. That's at least some encouraging news. But the main story is going to be the rotation and how it's looking. And again, that rotation, not very impressive. But again, there has been a report of a wall cloud associated with this particular storm near Perrysburg. And Perrysburg is in the hills of Cattaraugus County in the northern section of Cat County. So again, it is going to be right about in here is where the Weather Service is likely looking at. So again, this tornado warning, I know the warning polygon still is for Silver Creek. You're clear. If you are in Chautauqua County, if you are in this northern section of the storm, the northwestern portion of Chautauqua County near Silver Creek, you are fine from this storm. The storm has moved out into Cat County. So if you were in your safe place in northern Chautauqua County, you may now exit that safe place, but be alert, you may have to go back into it. So, sometimes we don't like telling you that, but That's likely the way it's going to be today. Just be prepared to go back into your safe place should it warrant. But again, this storm is now into Cat County. So Chautauqua County, we can basically give you an all clear from this particular storm. Now again, this is the storm in question here where the Weather Service has said that they had a report of a funnel cloud near, I believe it was Perrysburg. Yes, they had a wall cloud reported northeast of Perrysburg with this particular cell. So again, this is the storm that's moving northeast, and ultimately this storm is going to end up in Erie County. And once it enters Erie County, that's out of our coverage area. Again, if you're new to us here, welcome. We hope you join us every day for noon here for the news at noon every weekday here. And our coverage area basically consists of Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Warren, and Erie counties. Not Erie County, New York, Erie County, Pennsylvania. That's basically our core coverage area. So once this exits out of Cat County into Buffalo, basically up into Erie County, we'll let the Buffalo TV stations handle this as it moves up into Erie County. But right now, this storm is still in the northern part of Cattaraugus County. It's going to be this section of the storm right here where there likely could be some rotation going on here. And again, the Weather Service has said that there has been a reported wall cloud northeast of Perrysburg with this particular storm. So what's going on right now? Let's go back to the storms that are coming into the central portion of Chautauqua County here. And again, that's the storm for western Erie County, Pennsylvania. Does not include the city of Erie, but that is basically from Girard back to the Pennsylvania-Ohio state border. This is the other storm that's in question right here. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for western and then central Chautauqua County. The Weather Service has also reported some broad rotation going on with this storm near Mayville. And again, throughout the day today, this has been something we talked about at the noon show today, talking about how the atmospheric conditions do favor possibly a short-lived tornado. So it's not surprising that this is actually occurring because we told you how the chance was small. Even though the chance is small, the chance was still there. So it was worth mentioning. So again, the Weather Service has said that they're starting to see some broad rotation going on with this storm that is near Mayville. Now, again, the same thing I just told you, a tornado is not broad rotation, it's tight rotation, tight, not broad. And what we've seen here is not broad rotation. So I don't think the Weather Service, based on this moment, I don't think they're going to issue a warning for that. The tornado warning is going to expire. It is 4:44. This tornado warning expires in 1 minute. 4:45, the Weather Service is going to let it expire. And I can kind of see why. Again, if we can zoom right into that, I'll show you what's going on here. Not that far. But you can see right in through here, this is the storm that originally was in question. And again, the storm just kind of looks like it started to weaken off. It is not as well organized as it once was. So the Weather Service is letting this tornado warning expire at 4:45. So that is good news. Once that warning expires, you can go about your business, and it'll expire here in 1 minute here. So the Weather Service is not opting to reissue this, and I think that's a good call here because this storm is just not as organized as it once was. It looked like it might have started to weaken off here as it started to come across, say, the fork that goes into Chautauqua, Erie, and Cattaraugus counties that connects all three counties together. So likely that storm has started to weaken. So again, that and the tornado warning just went off the board. So it is gone. So the tornado warning for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties is over. You can go about your business. You can get out of your safe place now and go about what you were doing. But we still got to keep our eyes on this storm right down here. This is a cluster of storms that's coming out of Erie County, Pennsylvania. It's basically out of Erie County now, basically impacting the western portion of Chautauqua County. Now, the Weather Service has also reported some broad rotation going on near Mayville. You can see that area right there. See that little inflow notch right there? This looks almost similar to the storm that was in the northern section of the county probably about a half hour ago, back before the warning was issued. We started to see indications of a inflow notch right here, and there's something going on right there. And I want to check out the velocity very quickly on this particular storm and see what we've got. And yeah, you can see it a little better now. Let's go back to the high res. Thank you very much. And it's going to be this area right here. And again, that is still broad. That is not a tight velocity signature where you see these two colors coming together. That starts to indicate that there could be some rotation, but that is a broad rotation. That is not tight rotation. And again, I've said it over and over again this afternoon, and you're going to hear me say it more times and you're going to hear me say it more and more times, that a tornado is not broad rotation. It's very tight circulation that touches the ground, and that is not tight. That is broad. So that is the reason why the Weather Service has opted not to issue a tornado warning for this, because the overall rotation is not very great. But there is some broad rotation going on here, and again, when you see that, that does give you the idea of, okay, maybe this could strengthen a little bit, might become a little bit tighter. So we're keeping our eyes on this, because this could be, not saying they're going to, but there could be a warning required for that if it strengthens even more. I want to put the reflectivity data on here, and you can see basically what we're looking at is this is more of a wider area view. And if you're not familiar with this, this is the high resolution radar that we use. Normally it's controlled with an iPad. It's really great, but today we're using it off my computer today. But again, there's the severe thunderstorm warning right there for this cluster of storms moving northeast. There's another severe thunderstorm warning for central Erie County, Pennsylvania, and that also includes Ashtabula, Ohio. For this line of storms, it's kind of a bow-shaped echo on it right there. So again, that could be some damaging straight line winds. That is moving northeast. So again, if the trajectory of that storm continues to move to the northeast, and if that storm continues to show signs of possible damaging straight line winds, that warning may need to be extended into further portions of Erie County, and then maybe going into Chautauqua County. We'll see what they do with that. But those are the two storms that we're looking at right now. Let's go back to Lynx 2 on the radar if we can. And yeah, that's the line of storms right there. And if we can switch back to Lynx 2, I'm not sure who's back in the control room today, but who's ever back there? I know, I mean, it's very busy back there. There we go. Thank you very much. It's very busy back there. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. So, you know, everybody's back there pushing the buttons. So I know you're working on the switcher back there. But again, this is our storm of concern right here, or should I say the only warning we have. It is a severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 5:15 this afternoon. And now, since that tornado warning has since expired, this is what we're down to right now. Just this one severe thunderstorm warning for Chautauqua County. And it is for the central and western portions of Chautauqua County right here. And again, what we're looking at that could be a cause for concern is going to be this area right here where you see that little inflow notch. That could be the possibility of where there is some rotation going on in there. And just want to check in with the comments very quickly here. Let me see. Nothing so far. And again, a lot of the, so again, the tornado warning, because I see a lot of people are asking about that. The tornado warning for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties has been allowed to expire. So that is no more. So that tornado warning, which is what originally brought us on the air, that is no more. They have opted to not reissue that. And the reason is very simple. The storm does not look as intense as it once does. In fact, they're not even issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for it. So the storm likely weakened. Now we're just having our concern with this cluster of storms that is basically in western Chautauqua County, far western Chautauqua County, going into central Chautauqua County. That is going to be our main concern through the afternoon here. And wanted to check back in with the Weather Service chat here to see if there's anything new, and not seeing anything new yet. But again, the Weather Service, and again, the same thing that we just talked about, the Weather Service has said that there has been some areas of broad rotation going on about right here near Mayville. Again, it's very broad. So the chance of a tornado, and again, this is something that we talk about a lot, a chance of a tornado today is not zero, but it is relatively low. But and again, one of the things we often say is when it comes to thunderstorms, you expect the unexpected. And so this is one of those times where you just need to respect this today. And, you know, I know a lot of people tend to blow off severe thunderstorm warnings. I don't think that's a good idea, no matter what the conditions are, but especially today, you don't want to blow that off because you saw once already the severe thunderstorm warning was up to a tornado warning once the rotation got a little more well-defined. So again, this storm right here is also starting to look a little suspicious. Again, notice how it's got a kidney bean shape, hook back in the back edge. There's the inflow notch right there. Any rotation is going to be right in there. They've trimmed up the warning now. So basically, if you are in Sherman or Ripley, anywhere along I-86 westbound, you're not in this warning now. They've trimmed the warning down. What the Weather Service does is as the storm progresses through the polygon, the Weather Service adjusts the polygon accordingly to storm motion. That's how these things work. And so they've trimmed the far western section out because the storm is out of there. But let's show you Jamestown right here because this storm is not going to affect Jamestown. Let's kind of move it down just a little bit here to kind of show you Jamestown here. The edge of the polygon, let's kind of zoom in a little tighter here if we can, and kind of show you where that polygon boundary is. So downtown Jamestown, not in this warning. You can see it's not even raining. No rain is being picked up on the radar downtown. The severe thunderstorm warning is north of downtown. I-86, north of Celeron, I would say near the airport. If you are near the Jamestown airport, which actually sits in the town of Ellicott, so if you are near the Jamestown airport, if you lived here for a long time, you know where that is, up on Airport Hill, and you've got that big tunnel that goes up there. If you're anywhere near that, you're in that. But again, this is the core main action. So I would say if you're basically south of Bemis Point, along the southern shore of Chautauqua Lake, going down into the city of Jamestown, this storm is not going to affect you. You're here, the storm is here moving like this. So the storm is not going to affect you there. But again, we're keeping our eyes on this right here. That could be the chance of maybe some broad rotation. But again, as of right now, the Weather Service will not issue a tornado warning for this particular storm just because the rotation is very broad. Let's do, just to kind of recap here, let's do a very quick wide view very quickly here. We're going to be going off the air here in just a minute. Since we have no tornado warnings, we are going to go off the air. But again, we just wanted to do a wide view here just to show you here. This is the cluster of storms moving through now. There's another storm that's basically coming through the western portion of Erie County, PA, near the Ohio-Pennsylvania state line, moving northeast. So if that continues on that track, and it continues to look severe, a warning may be required for that. But as of right now, we have no tornado warnings. We're just down to this one severe thunderstorm warning for the central portion of Chautauqua County for a storm basically near Mayville that is producing damaging straight line winds, maybe some large hail, torrential downpours. Again, these storms have almost near tropical rainfall in them today. So again, you're going to get a downpour if you're underneath one of these things, and all the motion is to the northeast. So what we're going to do is we're going to end our coverage right now since we have no active tornado warnings for any part of our area right now. But again, we're going to be here all afternoon throwing stuff out on social media. We're going to keep you updated all day long. And again, make sure you have a way of getting watches and warnings this afternoon. And if a tornado warning is issued, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows, and you will be fine. So for everybody in the First Defense Weather Center, from Andrew Stevenson to Justin Gould to everybody in the newsroom and the technical crew, I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. Have a safe afternoon, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow at noon.